Hi, before I start, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please comment below, let me know how I'm doing, let me know if there's anything you'd like me to talk about. So I have had an encounter with a narc who has, it's a service person who's working in my road. And he, I've been very friendly, very sort of like accommodating. I've been really, really like going out of my way to make sure these people are okay. They're working out on our roads all day, every day, and they're struggling, out in the rain and everything. So I've been giving them, I gave them a box of chocolates, I gave them a card to make sure that they were okay. And this particular guy, he had blocked off my entrance, and there wasn't enough space for me to actually get into my driveway. So I had to squeeze in at 7 o'clock at night in the dark, where I could barely actually get into my drive. There were sort of cars everywhere, and it was really, really difficult. So the next day I sort of said, I said his name, and I said, is there like a policy? Is there like insurance or something that covers this? Because obviously if you're working in people's roads and you're working in their houses and things, they might struggle to get in, they might damage their car and things. So, and he got really shirty with me. He basically kicked off. He said that he, he was trying to intimidate me, he was trying to gaslight me, he was telling me that there's nothing I can do about it, the company's his, and he, it's not going to do anything about it, it's my fault, tough. You should have been careful, you shouldn't be driving too fast, because apparently I was driving too fast earlier on, and then I was actually, I probably wasn't careful, and I damaged my own car, and I'm like, no, you blocked my driveway, you didn't leave enough space, there are no spaces for me to go, I have PTSD, I cannot park up the road in the dark and be able to get back to my house without having a panic attack or a PTSD attack or anything. So you need to do something about this. It's not my fault. We need to do something. And I was really calm about it. I wasn't being obnoxious. I wasn't being confrontational. I wasn't saying anything to him. I was just wanting to deal with it and wanting to try and get some insurance to cover my car. But he clearly wasn't going to play ball. He started trying to scare me, intimidate me, bully me. He said things like, oh, I've got people without legs who can get back to their car, house without their car. Or, you don't know anything about me. And when I said that I was having a panic attack and it was triggering for me, he said, well, you don't know anything about me and my life. And I was like, well, I don't need to know anything about you and your life. I am telling you that I cannot park in the dark up the road and then have to walk back to my car, with my young children, 7 o'clock at night. I've just had a really busy day running around helping everybody and saving lives, and then have to, park up the road. I need access to my driveway. And he's like, well, technically this isn't a proper driveway, it doesn't have a drop curb. If you give me the money and then I can pay someone to do a drop curb, I would love to do a drop curb, but when I can't afford it, I will do it when I can. This is my driveway, it's my property, it's my house. I understand the council own the highway and the roads. It's not my property to say whether you dig up the road or not. Go ahead, dig up the road. I don't have an issue with that. What I have an issue with is that this is my house, this is my property, and I need access to my house, and you are blocking the access to my house. You are preventing me to be able to get into my house easily. I have young children. We are classed as a vulnerable household, and I told him that earlier on, that this is a vulnerable household, that we need accommodating, and you need to speak to us about what you can do to make it more accommodating for us. But still, he tried to lie and gaslight me and say, oh, I told you about a yellow board. And I was like, what is a yellow board? What does that mean? And he's saying, well, you can put a yellow board over the hole in the road so it makes your driveway more accessible. I'm like, well, did you tell me that? Did you give me that option? And he's saying yes. And I said, no, you have not even spoken to me about a single thing about this digging up the road. You needed to come and tell me that. You haven't. So you can't just, don't lie about that. Then he said, oh, the company's his and there's nobody that I can speak to. And I'm like, there must be a policy. There must be insurance. There must be a procedure that if when you're working out in the road and you break somebody's car or you damage their property or something, there is insurance to cover that. I need to know the details. And he was being so shirty with me. He didn't want to give me the details. He didn't want to tell me anything. And he was trying to intimidate me and, mind games and stuff and trying to